guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another TBR jar video. I am so excited once again to be doing another one of these. If you are new here or if you have never seen one of these before, what I do for these videos is I pick out a few prompts out of this jar here. Based on the prompts that I pick, I will look at my TBR cart and pick out books that fit best with that prompt, if that makes sense. Helps me get out of my comfort zone and reach for books that I would not normally reach for. So yes, I'm so excited. My TBR cart is growing so incredibly much. It is so overflowed. We have a lot of books here, lots of new books as well. Thanks to you guys who have bought me any books off of my Amazon wish list. You guys are so amazing. I am grateful for all of you who have sent me anything or purchased any books for me. I love you guys. I'll probably do 6 books. I feel like 6 has been the lucky number for me recently. You guys know what the deal is. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Alrighty, I really should like switch out these prompts. I feel like I've had these ones for a good amount. Hopefully get something new. Alrighty, we have continue a series. This is always a fun one. Let's see what series I'm in the middle of. Okay, the first one that's really popping out to me is A Court of Silver Flames. This is the last book in the ACOTAR series. This would be a great option so that I could actually finish the series. We also have The Housemaid's Secret, which is the second book after The Housemaid, which I loved that book. The Ballad of Never After is a really good option as well. I think those are 3 options. Okay, I'm between The Ballad of Never After and A Court of Silver Flames. Like I said, A Court of Silver Flames is the last book in the series, but it's also the longest book. I have really been wanting to read The Ballad of Never After, which is the second book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. You guys, I think I'm gonna go for this one actually, just because I have been really eager to start the Throne of Glass series, but I don't want to do that until I get through this one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this one, just so I can finish off the series and I can start Throne of Glass soon. Let me see how many pages this is. This is like 800 pages it looks like, so love that for me. Pick number 2. A book with a person on the cover. So for this one, I like to do a real person, not just like a cartoon, because I feel like a lot of the covers have cartoon characters. So I'm gonna have to go through here. I don't think any of these ones do. Okay. This is an option. We have an eye on here. Does this count as a person? I mean, technically kind of. I will count that. This one I think also counts. Okay, this is getting a little messy, but so our options, we have Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. I've started this one. I'm barely into it, so this is an option. This is a Christian fiction. And then we also have Mary Jane by Jessica Anya Blau. I've heard really good things about this. I think it's a literary fiction or like a coming of age. It's based in the 1970s. And this one actually, I believe, is also based a long time ago, 1850. And then we obviously have The Housemaid's Secret. This one I'm actually really eager to read. I think I'm gonna do this one just because it's a mystery thriller. I love mystery thrillers. I've been really wanting to get into this, so I think we're gonna go with that one. Although I do really want to read both of these, just for the sake of having a different type of genre. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, let's pick number 3. Let's see. Free pick. Okay, that's exciting. Oh goodness, these ones always stress me out because I could literally go for anything. Fall is coming up, so I'm definitely thinking fantasy. I feel like fantasy is really big in the fall. Obviously I have A Court of Silver Flames, so that's already a fantasy. I wonder what genre this one is. Is this a romance? This is a fantasy. I feel like this is like a cozy fantasy. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. Wow, I hate this because I could literally go for anything. I think I'm gonna read this one. This is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Actually, I had this on my TBR for August. I am really struggling to get through my August TBR, so I really want to read this. You guys are always commenting such good things about this book, and I feel like this is definitely giving me fall vibes for some reason. This is a fantasy book. It is another long book. We'll see how far I can get into it or if I get to it, but since it's the second month having it on my TBR, hopefully that will push me more to read it. Yay, I'm really excited to add that one. Pick number 4. A book with a one-word title. Do I have any? First one I see is Anatomy, which is a really fun book I've been wanting to read. What else? Is that the only one? We also have Heartless by Marissa Meyer. And then the third option would be Lightlark, which is really funny because this has a very similar cover to Anatomy. These are all fantasy books too, I'm pretty sure. Oh, this is a mystery slash romance. That is not what I would expect. That's what the back says. I would definitely see this as a fantasy. Okay, I think I'm gonna go for this one. I've heard Rachel Catherine rave about this series, and ever since she talked about it, I've been really wanting to get into it. Yes, this is book 1 of the, what's the name of this series? I'm not sure the name of this series, but I know there's at least 2 books in this. But yeah, I love the cover of this. It's like a heart, but it's also her dress. It's super pretty. Yeah, this is a mystery slash romance, it sounds like. We got lots of like new picks. I'm really excited for this. All right guys, we have 2 more picks left. Let's get another good one. A book with a boring cover. Never had this one before, I think. This is so weird. Usually I like pick like pretty covers. I feel like this one's a pretty boring cover. This one also, I've never liked the cover of this one. This one's also pretty boring. I don't know, I kind of like it. I like the illustration, but it's also definitely a little bit boring. I'm not really a fan of this one either. This one's also pretty boring. Okay, we actually have a good amount of options, so let's go over them. So we have one, True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Not a whole lot going on. This one is definitely boring. Like, I don't know, I don't really like that one. This one's all right. Again, not a whole lot going on. And then this one, I just really literally never liked this cover. I don't even know if I have the urge to ever pick this up, to be quite honest. Okay, so we have lots of options here. I think I'm gonna pick this one because to me, there's like in no world that I would ever want to pick this up. And honestly, this cover reminds me of Daisy Jones and the Six. And I did not like that book at all. I'm sorry to anyone who liked it. I DNF'd it. I did not like it. And this is kind of giving me the same vibes. I think I'm gonna pick this one. This is I'm pretty sure this is a literary fiction book, which is good because it's a different genre. Oh my gosh, this literally says, Almost Famous meets Daisy Jones and the Six in this funny, wise, and tender novel about a 14-year-old girl's coming of age in 1970 Baltimore, blah 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 blah. That's so funny. It literally reminded me of Daisy Jones, and it has that title in the front. That's so funny. Okay, we're picking that one. Sorry about the lighting if it's changing around a lot, but it's getting darker out. Okay, we have one last pick. Let's make it a good one. A blue book. Okay, let's see what all blue books I've got. I feel like I got this one not too long ago. I don't really know if I would consider this blue. I don't think so because there's a little bit, but I wouldn't say it is. Definitely Off to the Races by Elsie Silver. That one for sure counts. We also have The Nightingale, which I'm really excited to get into, by Kristen Hanna. The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Shatter Me by Tara Maffei. Book Lovers by Emily Henry. There's a lot, guys. We also have Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. Is this one blue? I feel like this one's, I would consider blue. Redeeming Love again. We have Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. The Fine Print, Lauren Asher. There's a lot of blue books. So this pretty much gives me free pick. And I think I'm gonna go with a romance because we don't have a romance yet, which is crazy. Again, like I said, I feel like fall is more cozy fantasy, literary fiction type books. So, but I think it will be good to have at least one romance. These are pretty much all romance too. Something is just calling me to this book. This is, again, a Christian fiction called Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. I showed this in my bookstore haul and you guys commented really good things about it, and overall I've just heard a lot of good things. So I think since I have already started it, I feel like I should probably just continue it and finish it. So I'm really excited to add this one. This one is 450 pages, it looks like. I'm really excited to read this. All right guys, let's go ahead and do a overview of everything that I picked and a little bit of a description about each book. The first book I chose was A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J Maas. Again, this is the last book in the ACOTAR series. The book before this was A Court of Frost and Starlight, which is the smallest book in this series, and it's the novella. That one I listened to on audiobook. I feel like that one honestly was not a super important book. It really didn't give much. After I read it, I figured out, or someone commented, that it was like a Christmas special, which makes sense given what happened in the story. I think knowing that going into it would have changed my thoughts and opinions on it a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, it was all right. It was nice to see the characters again. But the one before that, A Court of Winds and Ruin, it was good, but it wasn't as great as the other two books. I feel like at this point I just want to finish the series. It's not that I'm like, I am really interested in the characters that are in this. I'm interested in their story, but I have heard that this book has a lot of spice in it. I don't know, it's just not something that I love to read, and I feel like I'm gonna be skipping over a lot of parts in this book. So we shall see how it goes. I am excited to dive back in and see the characters again. Like I said, not sure how I'm gonna feel about this. I'm just ready to get this series finished with so I can jump into Throne of Glass. And then the second one I picked was The Housemaid's Secret. Again, this is the book after The Housemaid, which is the blue cover. Looks very, very similar to this. If you know, you know. I read that book super quickly. I loved it. I have heard that this book is very similar to that book, but it's still really good. Hoping that I have a good experience with this. I am excited because this is actually on Kindle Unlimited, so I can read this on my Kindle, which I always love. But of course we have to have the physical copy too, so I can't wait to jump back into the story. And then we have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue again. This is by V.E. Schwab, and this is a fantasy book. Like I said, fall is fantasy vibes. I had this on my TBR for the month of August, never got to it, and so I'm picking it up again just because I honestly heard nothing but good things about it. I just can't wait to see what all of the hype is about. So from what I can remember, this is about a girl who pretty much like wakes up and doesn't remember anything about her life or herself. She doesn't even know her own name. She's basically just trying to figure out who she is, where she is, how she ended up there, and all of that. And then we have Anatomy by Dana Schwartz. It says it's a love story. From reading the back quickly, it sounds like it's about a girl. She's in medical school and she needs corpses to study, and luckily there's this guy named Jack who digs them up for a living. So I'm guessing that's kind of how the romance comes up and progresses. That sounds pretty gory, but overall, like I said, I heard Catherine Center rave about this book and the books in the series. I have seen only 2 at Barnes, but I just don't know if they're like out of stock or something of the other ones, if there are more. Super, super excited to get into this series. Again, the cover is so gorgeous too. And then we have Mary Jane by Jessica Anya Blau. Like I said, this is a literary fiction, coming of age, women's fiction inspired by Daisy Jones. I know that this does involve music. Oh, that does not make me very excited to read it, but I've heard good things about it. I don't know, we shall see how it goes. That is book number 5. And then the last one, of course, is Redeeming Love. Also, I realized I said this was the only romance. We also have Anatomy, which is also a romance. I don't know why that book does not give me romance vibes. So this will be the second romance that we have. Again, a Christian fiction. I'm not exactly sure the plot. So far from what we've seen, it's about a girl and her daughter growing up and not being treated very well. I'm eager to see how the story continues because, like I said, I'm really not that far, so I don't think that I can fully form an opinion or know what the plot is about at this point. This will be my first Christian book that I've ever read before. That makes me really, really excited. I'm really excited to share more Christian books because it's something that I've really been wanting to get into more. The more that I read it, obviously, the more that I can share. If you guys have any like Christian fiction book recommendations or just anything in that genre, please comment them down below. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on any books that you've loved or experienced and just really think that other people need to read them. That is all 6 of the books that are on my TBR for September. I'm sure there will probably be some other books sprinkled in there. I'm really hoping that I can really focus on my TBR this month. Like I said, I did not do that great with that in August. I don't know, I just had a very big gap of like not reading at all because I read so many books in the beginning of the month for a video. Summer's coming to an end, things are slowing down, not as much stuff going on the weekends. So I think it will be really good for reading. That is all for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!